Think about the last real truck you ever saw. Not the one in the commercial, not the one with the 15-inch touchscreen and the built-in Wi-Fi hotspot and the massage seats, not the one that needs a software update before it can tow. The real one. The one that started in January without complaint. The one your grandfather drove to a job site for 22 years and sold for $3,000 still running. The one a mechanic could fix with tools he already owned. That truck is being erased. Deliberately. Quietly. And the people doing it are calling it progress. Here's what they are not telling you. The shift to electric and hybrid pickups is not being driven by what truck buyers want. It is being driven by what truck manufacturers need. And those are two completely different things. What you need from a truck and what Ford, GM, and Ram need from you have never been further apart than they are right now, and the gap is widening every single model year. Let's talk about what a real work truck actually is. It is a tool, a simple, brutal, repairable tool. It hauls, it tows, it gets dirty, it gets fixed. It does not ask for a Wi-Fi password. It does not require a certified technician with a proprietary laptop to change a battery. It does not send your driving data to a server farm in Michigan. It does not subscribe to anything. That truck, that concept, that philosophy is being phased out, not because buyers rejected it, because it was too durable, too fixable, too independent. A truck you can maintain yourself for 30 years is the worst possible product for a company that needs you back in the dealership every 18 months. So, they built you a new one. They wrapped it in capability language. They gave it a Power Boost badge and a Pro Power onboard outlet and a frunk. They ran commercials showing it pulling impossible loads up impossible inclines in impossible lighting. They made it look more capable than anything that came before it. And then, they made it impossible to own on your own terms. The 2024 and 2025 model year work trucks across Ford, GM, and Ram have an average of over 150 separate electronic control modules. 150. The 1995 F-150 had 6. 6 modules that any competent mechanic with a basic scan tool could read, diagnose, and repair in an afternoon. Today's truck requires a dealer-level diagnostic system that costs more than most independent shops make in a month just to access the full fault tree. This is not complexity that happened accidentally. This is complexity that was designed, layered in, protected by software licensing agreements that prevent independent access, locked behind firmware that only updates through the manufacturer's own servers, built to ensure that when something goes wrong, and something will go wrong, there is only one place you can go. Now meet the villain. It is not one person. It is not one decision. It is a business model that discovered something very valuable. The most profitable version of a truck is not the one that works forever. It's the one that works just long enough, then fails in ways that are just expensive enough, in systems that are just proprietary enough to guarantee a captive service relationship for the lifetime of the vehicle. Electric and hybrid powertrains serve this model perfectly. They are heavier, more complex, more thermally sensitive, more software dependent, and more expensive to repair than anything that came before them. A failed hybrid battery in a 2025 Silverado costs between $5,000 and $11,000 to replace at the dealer. The same repair on a comparable 2008 work truck? It does not exist, because the 2008 work truck does not have a hybrid battery. It has an alternator. It costs $200. Any mechanic in any town in America can replace it before lunch. That is not a coincidence. That is a design choice. And here's the number that makes it undeniable. In 2010, the average age of a pickup truck on American roads was 9.4 years. By 2023, that number had climbed to 12.6 years. Truck buyers were keeping their trucks longer, maintaining them better, spending less at dealerships. That trend, that expression of real ownership, was costing manufacturers billions in lost service revenue. The answer was not to make a better truck. The answer was to make a truck you could not keep. The electrification push gave them the perfect cover: environmental responsibility, carbon targets, government incentives. the language of progress wrapped around a business decision that had nothing to do with the environment and everything to do with control. While the press releases talked about sustainability, the engineering teams were building subscription dependencies, proprietary charging ecosystems, and software-locked performance parameters directly into the vehicles. Your new truck's towing capacity can be remotely adjusted by the manufacturer. Did you know that? Your torque output is governed by software that Ford can update without your permission through an over-the-air patch. The truck you bought today can perform differently tomorrow based on a decision made in Dearborn that you were never consulted about. You didn't agree to that. You probably didn't read the 47-page software licensing agreement buried in your purchase documentation that said you did. This is what the erasure of the real truck actually looks like. Not a dramatic announcement, not a press conference. Just a quiet, model-by-model, feature-by-feature replacement of a tool you owned with a service you subscribed to, wearing the body of a truck. But here's what they did not account for. The real truck buyer is not a consumer demographic, they're a culture. And cultures don't disappear when corporations stop serving them. They find another way. Call it the last real truck strategy. The pre-2019 used truck market is doing something that's never happened before in automotive history. Values are holding, in some segments appreciating. A clean 2015 F-150 with a naturally aspirated V8 and under 100,000 miles is selling today more than it sold for in 2019. Because buyers who understand what is happening are treating pre-complexity trucks the way collectors treat anything that's stopped being made, as finite, valuable, and worth protecting. The strategy is simple. Find the last model year before the complexity inflection point for your preferred truck. For Ford, that's approximately 2014 for simplicity, 2018 for the last naturally aspirated option in certain trims. For GM, the last Government Motors electrical architecture. For Ram, the last Cummins configuration with full independent repairability. Buy it, maintain it aggressively, document every service record, build a relationship with an independent diesel or gasoline specialist who still works on real hardware. That truck won't strand you with an $8,000 battery replacement. It won't void your ability to modify it with a software clause. It won't send your location, your payload weight, your fuel consumption to a manufacturer database in real time. It will just work, like a tool is supposed to. Smart truck owners already know this. They're not angry about the new trucks. They're done with them. They're not waiting for the manufacturers to come back to their values. They're building something parallel. A market, a community, a knowledge base that doesn't need the manufacturers at all. You bought a truck to own something, not to subscribe to something. The real truck still exists, but the window to get one is closing faster than anyone is admitting. And there's something else closing even faster, something buried in the registration and titling laws of 11 states right now that's going to affect every truck owner regardless of what year their truck is. That one is coming next. You'll want to know about it before your renewal notice arrives.